and discrimination that's rooted in an individual's basic psychological attitude, which lead people to categorize and draw distinctions across groups. And I think, again, if we had to contextualize that within the 2021 KZN riots, we saw that from all levels, what we did was that we started to racialize those riots, and then our response to that was building a socially cohesive society, but along the lines of racial tolerance. And what I am suggesting and I'm arguing for is that it goes beyond racial intolerance, and it goes beyond racial dimensions. So if in our own psyches we believe that the lack of social cohesion is guided by race, then it's highly unlikely that we're going to have a socially cohesive society. So social cohesion is also under threat by misinformation or false information, and I think we saw that again in the 2021 Phoenix riots, or we call it the Phoenix riots. So we had these various forms of information via various social media platforms and the media itself that underscored and entrenched the issue of race. So this kind of misinformation plays a huge role in how we engage with social cohesion. And then we come to moral regeneration, and this is a topic that we've been engaging with since our democracy, for example. There was a time when we were talking about moral degeneration, and we began to understand that moral degeneration was one of the big issues that actually played a part or played a role in terms of the high levels of crime. So we've come to a stage now where we are saying, let's regenerate our morals, our ethics, and the values that we propagate at various levels, starting from the family. So threats to family structure and marital relationships, I'm not sure how many of us, when we engage in programs of moral regeneration, we actually go down, we mine the data to the level of the family, and then of course corrupt hiring practices and discrimination in the working environment, and how does that feed into moral degeneration, and then sexual immorality in communities. And do we place emphasis on that? Do we think it's something that entrenches or reinforces moral degeneration? And I'm not in any way saying that I'm not labeling any forms of moral sexual immorality. Then we had one of our great academics who compiled his thesis around the role of the church in reconstructing morality in Africa. And one of the things that he quoted is that religion is a very powerful, basic but powerful stratum of building a cohesive society. And he speaks to the fact that Africa's cultural and religious heritage has been undermined to the extent that African people have lost confidence in themselves as a people. And I think this is a really powerful statement, because I think we need to look at what does the role of religion play in moral regeneration? Are we using it adequately? So how can we try to achieve social cohesion? Here I say it is vital to break down the issues of social cohesion, to understand it better. And it speaks to the issues and the concepts that I've just mentioned as well. And I think the important thing is to meaningfully integrate people from all spheres of life in society. So we speak about the bottom-up process. We start at the grassroots level. How do we start to integrate and bring in the voices of community members? The beneficial effects of social cohesion are twofold. including separate but related objective and subjective components. So the objective component includes the tendency by individuals to connect with others and participate in political and civic activities. And I think the important question for us here to ask ourselves is, what stops us from getting people to connect with each other? Then the subjective component includes the perception that others can be trusted and relied upon in case of need. So there's a huge level of distrust amongst us as a community, and then between us as a community and the various levels of the state. So caveats to existing strategy. One of the critical implications, and I think what we don't use effectively, is technology. We know that the new generation is techno-savvy. So how can we use technology to build social cohesion? I'm not going to go too much into that because of time, but I think a really important tool in terms of building social cohesion is to use technology. We know that Facebook and Twitter, etc., are platforms that our young people especially spend a huge amount of their time in. So we as a country should start using these platforms to our benefit in terms of building social cohesion. So with that, I want to thank the organizers, and I have a diagram here which I'm not going to go into because it actually speaks to what I have spoken to, but the three main concepts for me are social relations, connectedness, and to focus on the common goal, And I think if we can use those three basic concepts, elaborate on them, we should be able to get closer to having a more socially cohesive society. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and the organizers.
Thank you very much, Prof. Please, for the last time, can we just, for all our speakers, give them a big round of applause. Thank you so much. I think you'll agree with me that all that they have shared is really important for the purpose of this summit. And as we go to the different commissions, it is something that therefore we do need to ponder upon going forward. Thank you very much. I think the important issue that Prof has spoken to, because it really does tell you that if MEC you have an increase in the number of criminal activities, it does talk directly to the degeneration of our morals in our society. And therefore the issue of strengthening our moral regeneration programs becomes important. At this point, we've come to the end of this session. I really do want to say thank you very much, Siyabonga kakhulu, for being patient with us as we had to take all these speakers that we had. We are going to be breaking for lunch, and we are all invited to please go to where lunch will be served, and that is at the dining hall, which is just behind this hall. So you'll go this way, but there will be people who will be assisting us. But for abahlonishwa MEC nabantwana inkosi yasemadungen, there will be a team from protocol that will be assisting them. But please don't go before I invite. I'll just like to invite Mr. Koniwe, the acting HOD for Com Safety, just to talk to, because now the next session will be breakaway sessions, and therefore he is going to be guiding us as to how that process is going to be unfolding. Over to you, Babu Koniwe.
Honorable Premier, all MECs present, our mayors, Nkulege, Kondabezita, Mkosi Nasendlunkulu, in the interest of time, I will say all protocol observed. Program Director, I will take really the instruction and try and save time. Mine will be just to outline the commissions, the venues, the facilitators, that will be facilitating the commissions. The cabinet, the provincial cabinet of KwaZulu-Natal approved 5 commissions, taking into cognizance all the sessions and the presentations that were done this morning. So the first commission will focus on the active public and community participation. So that will be the first commission. It will be facilitated by Mr. Lungelo Zulu, who is the chairperson of the Crime Prevention Youth Desk in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. It's a youth and a young blood who will also actually leading us. So the reporter in that commission will be Mr. Humutso Malachi, Legal Services, Department of Community Safety. I will only be mentioning the facilitators and the reporters in the interest of time, but there will be scribers as well as the resolution takers. 2, the second commission will focus on the effective criminal justice system. The facilitator of that commission will be the DPP head, Advocate Zungu, as well as the co-chairing with General Ngobo. On the first question, sorry if I can go back to the first commission, there will be in our accreditation, there are stickers. So if you have blue, the blue is for first commission. So the venue will be main hall. That means it will be here at plenary. So the second question, it's black on our accreditation. So it's outside the main hall, just outside the main hall. There will be ushers who will be assisting us in getting into those venues. Third commission will be strengthening the public-private partnership in crime prevention, enhancing community safety. So the facilitator will be Dr. Sibata from ATIA. The reporter will be Mr. Bishezi, who is the COO of forensic investigation in the province. So the accreditation or the color will be red, and it is upstairs, just upstairs. So the ushers will lead us there. Fourth commission will cover the effective and integrated service delivery for communities and prevention of crime and violence. The facilitator will be Mrs. Mhlongo, DDG from the Department of Social Development. So the reporter will be Advocate Shandu. So the fourth one, accreditation will be yellow. It will be at Hall 2 foyer, opposite dining hall. Then they will show us. So the last commission will cover the improving of rural and farm safety.